Shalom. First and foremost, we give our praise, our honor, our glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, qadash. A double honors to the apostles and the elders of great wisdom for teaching us this truth of the Bible, through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, Yahawashi, and a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully let I came up there, pushing this word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work that Yahawashi, Yahawashi has created us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations. They may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line goes back to even the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Shalom. It's your brothers from the GMS Denver camp coming back once again through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, from the video. And this time tonight, we're going to the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, we're going to go into the kingdom of heaven and all the beautiful things that we have promised. We have promised to us, all the beautiful things that we have coming, you know, because that's what it's all about the Most High being a faithful power and fulfilling all the things that he's promised to do for our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And we are the inheritors of that, man. And everything the Lord said he's going to do, he's going to do it. Why is that? Because everything written in this book is faithful and true. Can somebody get that real quick? The words that go forth out of my mouth, Isaiah 55:1. Bob, get stuff. Now, come. I get the other one in Isaiah 6. Because at the end of the day, these people are just around here in the earth, proclaiming they believe in God, this, and they believe in Jesus Christ, that, this, and the other. But where can you find the will of the Most High located? Where can you find where the Most High has promised to do things in this planet Earth? Because these heathen nations are not looking for these things, because they're looking for what? They're looking to fulfill their own lusts, their own vain thoughts, when the Most High has intents and purposes laid out, you see, in this book that he declared that was going to happen from the beginning, man. You see? Now you got one. I got one in Revelation. This Isaiah 46 pages says what? Remember this and show yourselves plain. Bring it to mind, or you transgressors. Remember the former things of old. For I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. And that's what the Most High is going to do. You see, the will of the Most High, his intents and purposes, his pleasure is found written in this book. And he said he's going to do every single word he's spoken, man. You see, that's what's going to happen. And it ends with what? The Most High bringing the Israelites, you see, beginning with our Lord Yahawashi into that kingdom, that rest that he promised to give unto his people, man. But you ask the heathen about these things, oh no, God, he's not going to do that. Basically calling the Most High a liar, man.
Got in Revelation 22:6, says, and he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true. And Yahweh, the power of the holy prophets sent his angel to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done.
Because what? These words are faithful and everything the Most High said is going to come fast. And it's all happening right now. So if all these trials and tribulations and all these calamities is going to come, you see, hey, the end thing is what? The kingdom of heaven being established, the Most High's kingdom, where it dwelleth righteousness. That's going to come when it's all said and done, man. This is what Yahawashi, Yahawashi is preparing us for. You see, to bring us into that everlasting rest. You see, to bring it into our trouble and our sorrows and our mournings, man. To bring it into our tears. Yahawashi, Yahawashi is going to do it. And the Most High gave the vision to the prophets to give unto us in these last days, so we can what? Continue to fight. But he shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent. That's right. You see, everything the Most High spoke by way of the Holy Spirit through these prophets is going to come to pass, man. The Most High don't just speak to just to hear himself speak. Every word of the Most High has an intent to it, man. It has a purpose to it. And that purpose is going to be fulfilled as it is written, man. Hey, Shalom, how about you? How about you?
So one more again, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, rawchaa.
Can you grab that, hold that. Can you grab, Yahawashi? Fear not through the fuck. And even our Lord Yahawashi, man, the author and finisher of our faith, he gave us some hope or some reassuring words, man. You see, he reassured us that these things that we read is going to be done. You got it? Okay. That's right. It's the Most High's good pleasure to give us. It's the Most High's pleasure to give us the kingdom. What was that again? I'm gonna get that in the NLT. Then I'm gonna look at the word for pleasure. 12:32 in the NLT. It says real quick. This is Luke 12:32 in the NLT. It says, "So don't be afraid, little flock, but give your Father great happiness to give you the kingdom." This makes the Most High happy, man. Us going through this trial of fire, this straight gate, and wanting to fight and push forth and endure. This is what pleases Yahweh, bahasham, Yahawashi, man. He wants us to come into this kingdom. This is what he wants for his people. This is why the Most High chose us as he chose the people above all nations to give us the kingdom of heaven. And you got the heathen nations like talking shit like the Most High ain't gonna do what he said he's gonna do. So we got to cleave unto this even more, man. Yahweh, bahasham, Yahawashi is going to be faithful to us as he's always been. Go back in the history and find a time where the Most High forsook us and didn't bring anything he said to pass for us, man. Anytime the Most High spoke about doing something, whether it was good or bad to the Israelites, it all came to pass, man. So how much more this kingdom of heaven? That the Most High gives us that. So you want to see us? No. This is exactly, bro. The Most High wants us on top. He wants us ruling over these heathen nations. You know how we know? Because that's his will. He spoke. I chose you above all nations. You see? But Luke 12 and 32 in the NIV says, "Do not be afraid. The Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom." It pleases the Most High to do this for us, man. This is what the Most High loves us, man.
What does it say? First, talks about we can give our kids even good gifts. How much more our Father is he going to give us?
That's right. That's right. And they don't get no greater than immortality, man. You see, they don't get no more greater than the Most High training us and giving us those bodies and putting the law and commandments in our minds, man. That's the ultimate gift. Because with that gift, with the Most High bestowing that upon us, it brings us into all the blessings of Deuteronomy 28:1. You see? That state of everlasting life, that state of everlasting righteousness, it brings what? Pleasures forevermore. That's what the Lord want to give us. What's up? God, that's a spirit. That's a spirit. Let me grab this one real quick. This is Jeremiah 29. Get that one too as well. Jeremiah 29:11 says what? "But I know the thoughts that I think toward you," said Yahweh. I know the thoughts that I think toward you, said Yahweh. Think toward who? The Israelites, us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are suffering up under our enemies right now, man. He knows the thoughts that he thinks towards us. What's in the Most High's mind, his intents and purposes for his chosen people, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord Yahweh. Thoughts of peace." You see? Thoughts of peace and not of evil, meaning what? The Most High wants to bring us into Deuteronomy 28:1-14 forevermore. He wants to take us from under the curses, man. How do we know? Because he says it in his word. We reading it right now. The Most High don't want us under the curse forever. This was just a extended ass whooping, extended punishment. And just like any other parent, man, your punishment eventually comes to an end.
What does he say? Those that are not meant to drink from you
have drunk it. Because it was always the Most High's intent for his princes, you see, his sons to be on top, ruling their righteousness. That's what it was always supposed to be. Going back to the time of Adam, and now we're about to come into the fullness of that through the Lord Yahawashi, man. And it pleases the Most High to do this for us. You see? Yahawashi told us. The right hand man, the Most High told us what the Most High wants to do for us, man. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you, said Yahweh. Thoughts of peace and not of evil. If you expect it, and in fact, let's get that in the NLT. Jeremiah 29:11 in the NLT says, For I know the plans I have for you, says Yahweh. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. And this is what you read about all throughout the scriptures. That's what the gospel is, man. Telling all people, those who are going to listen to the elect, that the Most High is going to do what? Fulfill all these things he's promised to fulfill for us, man. Oh, man. Let me get it. NIV for Jeremiah 29:11 in the NIV. It says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares Yahweh. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. This is what we're about to enter into, but we have to go through what first? That straight gate. This is the must. Yup.
Things work together for good, and the Lord of Most High. Then do all the call with purpose.
Right. Those who do what say real one more time.
Romans 8:28.
Yup, because what? Because if you love the Most High, you can walk in his ways and do as he tells you to do as best you possibly can. And it's going to be to your benefit, man. Because only the obedience is going into the kingdom of heaven. Only those who have faith in Yahawashi is going into the kingdom of heaven on the first go round, man. And Lord willing, we be a part of that number. Therefore, want to call according to his purpose, man. The elect of Israel. That's what we're fighting. And Smith, do you understand to be a part of the first dominion, to be a part of that governing body, we want to have an access that even the rest of Israel is not going to have, man. You see? Yes. How we conform to the image of Yahawashi. We're in that spirit to do the Most High's will, man. You see, we're in that spirit of walking in obedience to the Most High as best as we can in this wicked ass world, man. That's how we're conformed to the image of Yahawashi. You see? You brothers holding anything over there you call?
Yeah, God. Yeah, I wanted to get this because what you said, brother, about it's the you read that about it's the good the Lord's pleasure to give the kingdom to us. And in Isaiah 53, Isaiah was prophesying about Yahawashi's crucifixion, his sacrifice for us. At verse 10, it says, "Yeah, it pleased Yahweh to bruise him. He had put him to grief when thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin." And it says, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahweh shall prosper in his hand. And how is it going to prosper in his hand? The elect. But through Yahawashi is he able to give us the kingdom. Because he's that door, that gateway to the power of Yahweh. So I just wanted to bring that out because a lot of Christians, they don't understand it pleased them to bruise him. You know, why would you be pleased that for killing your son, you know? But it's because what he was able to access through that sacrifice. Ephesians 1:3, blessed be the power of the and Father and our Lord Yahawashi HaMashiach, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in HaMashiach, according as he had chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestined us unto the adoption of sons by Yahawashi HaMashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will.
Right. That's right, man. Because at the end of the day, The Most High wants to bring the Alahayim back into that what? The state of being the Alahayim. But the only way we can go back to that state of being the Alahayim is if we go through these trials and tribulations, these perils, these calamities, and stay faithful and endure to the end, man. You see, keep that hope burning in us. That's because the hope, that faith that's in us is what's going to get us saved, man. You see?
Right.
And it's the Most High. What's up?
Esau's really afraid because you gotta think about it. Every man of this truth, bro, that's possibly an elect is like a T-Rex egg just waiting to crack open, you know?
Nope.
And Esau don't know what man it is, but there's eggs on this earth that are, you know, more grievous than the Leviathan, you know? Mighty
Right.
men.
What you holding your call?
Yeah, I got Proverbs 12, starting at Proverbs 12, verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. A good man attaineth favor of the Lord Yahweh, but a man of wicked devices will be condemned. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved.
And see, the elect, we received it through Yahawashi. It was of no good work that we did. You know, it was a gift from Yahweh to his son Yahawashi, which Yahawashi laid his life down as the greatest act of love that anyone could show. You know, Yahweh said he loved us so much so that he sacrificed his son for the world of Israel. You know, and Israel is at the bottom, but soon will be at the top. That's it, opposite.
That was it?
Gone.
So yeah, man. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the Most High plan is for what? The seed of Israel to be placed back on top in the righteous kingdom, for us to push forth what? The righteousness of Yahweh, bahasham, Yahawashi, man. This is what we're getting prepared for, as it tells you in Isaiah chapter 2. You see? You had something?
If I move and prepare a place, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also.
That's what's happening. Yahawashi went ascended back into the heavens, and he's out there getting things ready for the elect to come and inherit it, man. He ain't out there for no reason. You see, he out there for his people to come and rule out there in the heavens, man. That's a part of our kingdom. That's what the universe is, the kingdom, man. And that's what we're about to receive access to, man. This ain't some small level thing. Do you understand? We're about to travel the galaxy, man. We're about to travel the universe. The entire universe is a part of the kingdom of heaven, man. But it begins with what? It begins with us walking in obedience unto Yahweh, bahasham, Yahawashi, man. You see, and then once this time is over, he's going to bring us into everything he's promised to bring us into. That was it.
Second Ezra 7 and 1. And when I made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the night before.
So what's about to happen in the second, man? The angel came back from the Most High, and he's breaking it down to Ezra of what has to happen and what we have to go through as the chosen people to enter. So this is why we can't be afraid of the times that we're about to enter into the time of Jacob's trouble. This is a must. Jacob's trouble is a prerequisite before we can enter into the kingdom of heaven. See, Jacob's trouble is a must before we can go to that next level. You see, it's a must, man. So this ain't something to shy away from. Yeah, it's gonna be scary at points because we're in the flesh, but at the end of the day, this is a part of the Most High's will, and it's not gonna be It's not something for us to go through to be overcome by. It's something we go through to be built up in, man. To be as what? Gold tried in the fire. You see? To be brought forth as those what? Or to be as what? Those burnt offerings unto the Lord, man. So we can be found worthy to partake in Yahawashi's kingdom. So before you continue on that, just look at Romans 8 and 17. Because at the end of the day, this is the must, man. Yahawashi, the Lord, was made perfectly what? Sufferings. So now that we're here and reincarnated in these last days, we have to fulfill our portion of the mission. Guess how we're going to be made perfect? Through sufferings. You see, and through those sufferings, our faith in Yahawashi is what's going to keep us driving on, man. Calling upon that name, the true name, is what's going to empower us, man. Allow us to continue on in this life, because without that name, you ain't got no power. You got it?
So be that we suffer with him, that we may also glorify together.
You see? If heirs of the Most High, we join heirs with Yahawashi, it so be that we suffer with him, so we can be glorified together, man. What is that going into? Us going into the kingdom of heaven. Us being made like Yahawashi is, receiving those new bodies, man. Because Yahawashi is the first Israelite to go up under the second covenant. He's up under the second covenant now, waiting for us. You see? That's why I tell you what. He did it, and he did it the first of what? Many brethren, man. That's what we're coming into. That is state of coming back into being what? The Alahayim. And it leads to an access that's uncomprehendable, man. We can't even comprehend the extent of access we're gonna have by being brought back into the state of being the Alahayim again, man. You understand that? To not be confounded by the laws of physics or gravity or being put in the box of what we can and can't do. Ain't gonna be nothing impossible for us once we come back into this state. Now we're gonna be able to do whatever we want to do. You see, it's just like a video game, man. It has a code behind it. You got to go. You got even deeper than that. You got programmers who can go in and change a few lines of code around, and they can break the basically the so-called standards of the game, man. You see, you can have the fucking ocean in the sky, the fucking sky in the ocean. You can have fish flying or whatever you want to have it, man. That's the type of power we're gonna be able to have, man. Manipulating the elements. You see, seeing things that we didn't even knew existed, man. Once again, seeing sights that we can't even comprehend, colors we can't even see right now, man. You see, hearing vibrations and frequencies, you see that we can't even understand right now. We gonna come into that type of level, man. You see, to truly understand that herbs, truly understand the smells and the scents and why this is put here, why this is put there. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have a full understanding of that, man. That's the type of access. Then being able to go to the spirit world whenever we want to go. That's the type of access we want to have to Yahawashi once we come into what he's promised us, man. But we have to do what? Continue to endure and suffer as Yahawashi suffered, man. They are not
Verse 18, for I reckon that the suffering of the present time is not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
So the sufferings of this present time, whether it be financial troubles, brothers catching hell for women, whether it be living situations, whether it be your family coming up against you, whether it be ailments in the flesh, ailments in your mind, none of the stuff that we're suffering right now is even comparable to what we're going to receive once we're changed, man. Once we come into this kingdom, the things the Most High has promised us, man. You see, that was it. Go ahead.
Chapter 4, verse 24. Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they sit shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with glory and brightness of the everlasting. My children, supplication, the wrath is come upon you from heaven. For thy
he hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt turn upon his neck.
And that's what's coming, man. So we have to suffer patiently. And we know we're going to get some get back, man. You see? We don't get that sweet revenge that we're longing for, according to what the Most High has promised. That's a part of the Most High's promise. That's a part of the kingdom, man. Being able to put our feet in the heathen nation's ass, man, up to the kneecap. You see? That's a part of the kingdom, man. That's another thing we're going to have. And who's going to say something about it? Wish the motherfucker would, man. You see? After all the things that we suffered at the hands of the team, they had the nerve to tell us, oh, we're hateful for this. We're hateful for that. You're a racist. Man, go back and look at the shit you've done unto us in your history, man. You see? That's why I say it's what? It is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation unto them that trouble you, man. It's a righteous thing, man. And that's what we hoping to come back into. Just like Yahawashi prayed for us, he prayed for that for us as well, man. For us to be right along with him on his right hand side, just like he was with the Most High from the beginning. He's praying for the Most High to bring him back into that state of being the chief Elohim. You see? And if we continue our portion, continue on our mission, we're gonna be right back into that state with our Lord, man.
Hebrews 6:12, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises.
Doing what? Following the example that our elders have laid out for us, man. You see? Continuing on, no matter what. 35 plus years in this thing, man. We got no reason or no excuses to drop the plow, man. They fighting for the promise just like we're fighting for. We have to continue. It's a fight. That's why the Apostle Paul says what? He endured the great fight of what? Faith, man.
Metaphor for the workers that came in at the different times of the day, but they all received that same penny.
No, because they what? They put their hands to the plow and they got to work, man. So that's why the Most High set up our leaders over us to show us what kind of work ethic we're supposed to have. Show that you can do this, man. This is not impossible to do. They've been doing it for 3 decades and continue and still pushing forward, hard and strong, man. So we have no excuse. You brothers have one over there, call y'all?
Yeah. This is Philippians 2, verse 5. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Hamashiach Yahawashi, who being in the form of power, thought it not robbery to be equal with power, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men, and being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. It says, wherefore, power Yahawah also has highly exalted him, and given him a name which is above every name. And I wanted to get that because what you said, there is no other name that we could call upon, because Yahawashi had that name that's above all other names. It says, and at the name of Yahawashi, every knee should bow, things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue should confess that Yahawashi HaMashiach is Lord, to the glory of the power, the Father Yahawah. So there is no other name like Yahawashi. Yahawashi is Yahawashi, and you can't replace it with no false name like Jesus Christ. That ain't gonna cut it.
His name is a strong tower.
Right? So you gotta have those names. That's your foundation. And then you got the writings of the apostles. the works of the apostles. But you got the book of Acts, literally showing you how they were actually living and dwelling amongst each other in the city. You know, they were persecuted so bad at times that they could only live in one house. You had like 100 people in a house. You know, you think about how much humility that takes for 100 men and women, and who knows how many children, to live in one house, half of them working to pay the bills, the other half preaching the gospel. You know? So those are some strong men that were actually walking in the actual path of them. Do you have anything?
I guess Galatians chapter 4, verse 7, there, wherefore thou art no more a servant, but a son. And if a son, then a heir of power through Hamashiach.
Oh, I heard it says in the scriptures that, you know, if your servant say he worked the field all day, then you said, hey, go change and make me dinner. Would you tell him thank you? No, because he's your servant. So really we don't have nothing to even, you know, we didn't even do our best, really. See? And that's why the Lord is so merciful to us, because he knows that we're only dust. You know, he's been in these dust bodies, you know, he suffered hunger, he suffered tiredness. So that's why he's such a great King of Kings, because he suffered just like us. Go ahead.
Howbeit then, when ye knew not power, ye did service unto them which by nature are no God. But now, after that ye have known power, or rather are known of power, how turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements?
Right. So, you know, when you were in the Catholic Church and they gave you a rosary, and how in the world you were turned up on something like that. But how much more should you be turned up on the truth? And you know the other shit is a lie, and you got roused up on certain things in that worldly event. Well, how much more when you're in this truth and you actually know what you worship now? And you know you're being persecuted just like the saints were before us, walking the same path of Yahawashi. That should give you more encouragement to push on, you know? Yeah, you're of an elite group of men.
Beggarly elements were unto ye desire again to be in bondage.
Right, because some men, they want to leave this truth and go back to the world, not realizing the fruits of the truth. You know, that's why even Apostle Paul, he was an educated man. He said all the things of the world he counted as nothing, all his education. Because when you get these revelations of the truth, man, it's almost like drinking wine, you know.
That was it.
That was it?
Second Ezra 7 and verse 3. And I said, speak on my power, Yahweh. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? There is also another thing: a city is builded and set up upon a broad field, and is full of all good things.
And if I can say, brother, you know, Moses, when Moses saw the burning bush, he was intrigued to stop and to go see why the bush didn't burn. See, some men, they see the camp, but they just keep walking by. They see it on YouTube and they just change the channel. But what happened to all of us that are of this truth, we stopped to listen. And the words, you know, the Holy Spirit converted us. Go ahead, brothers.
Verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water.
This is the straight gate that we're in. We have perils on both sides, dangers on both sides. You see? But this is the way we must go to enter into this broad place, which is the kingdom of heaven. A place, and what comforts you and gives you the fight to continue on is what? Knowing and understanding that when you read these prophecies, when you go into these visions, the Most High gave unto the prophets, this is accomplishable, man, because when you read the story of what? You could say, hey, it's true, read about the crowning ceremony of those who endured and stood still for the name of the Lord all the way through, man. So that should give you comfort, like, I can do this. Through the spirit of power, Yahawashi, I can do this to be brought into everything the Most High has promised this first go around. Lord, will I be a part of that number? That should encourage you to keep fighting, man. Because it's not something that we are just fucking shot in the dark, man. The story tells us, the vision tells us that there are going to be men and women saved from all throughout the world when the Lord Yahawashi returns, man. And why are they going to be saved? Because they endured it to the end. They endured the straight gate. They endured the demonization and the persecutions and all the false things spoken about them, man. They endured the enemy trying to destroy them, man. They endured all these things. They stood stiffly in their faith in the Lord Yahawashi. And they're getting crowns, man. This is accomplishable. We can do this, man. You see? Yo, that's right.
It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they love out their lives to the devil.
And that's the spirit the electors gonna walk in, man. Because the thing is, once we come into those times, Most High is going to turn our faith up, and He's going to turn our spirit up. We're going to be put on a whole another level to be able to face these dangerous times we're coming into. Even to the point of what? Being put to death for the word of Yahawashi. You see? The Most High is the one that's going to strengthen us. And it tells you that in Psalm 34. That what? Be of good courage, and the Most High will strengthen your heart, which is your mind, man. To do what? To accomplish the mission, to fulfill the task, man. Yeah, the Most High is not going to allow, if you have faith, man, the Most High is not going to allow you to be overcome by fear and allow you to plunk out if you got faith. He's going to strengthen you and make you stronger to accomplish and fulfill the mission, man.
Yeah, because you know, we're all going into the most bloodiest time ever known on earth, man. You know, no matter where we are, whether we're in America, Europe, Asia, Africa, it don't matter. The whole world is going to see a war like you've never seen before, man. So you got to prepare your heart so you can endure, you know?
So I tell you to cleave unto the Most High and depart not away.
Right?
It says Psalms 1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of Yahawaah, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
That's what? For the man that's walking with Yahawashi. The Most High is going to take care of his man, and he tells us in the scripture. That's why we go over these things over and over and over again. So when that pressure is put on, it won't just slip our mind. That's what's going to do for some of these odd cats out here, because they don't truly believe. But when the time comes, the pressure is on. But only ones who are going to stand, what's written in these scriptures is who will be elect, man. Knowing and understanding that the Most High is going to protect those of the house of the faith. Once again, you're going to feel some type of way in the flesh, but you got to overcome that through the spirit. That's what, like Yahawashi said, the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. You see, the Most High already let us know what the end of the story is. We just got to man up and endure it.
The elect are going to be the only ones that will be able to start down that narrow path, which means you're not going to be plucked out of this truth. Nothing's going to take you out of the truth. It's not going to be a job for your career. It's not going to be a woman, you know. Nothing's going to keep the elect, you know. The elect to have that foundation in ours, or set it firm, planted in those deep roots by what we described, by living waters.
And why is that, man? Because the elect have the vision in mind. They're looking past Babylon. Yeah, we're here in this world, but we're not here in this world. See, we move the world, but not abuse it. Yeah, we got a little things that we do on the side outside of this truth. But it doesn't fucking skew our vision, man. I'm gonna be able to become this CEO over here. Yeah, no, we ain't doing that. The mission is, and if a brother does so happen to become a CEO, if he's a part of that, he will say, "Fuck that job." When he's given that ultimatum, you gonna keep your job and serve the Lord. He gonna say, "Fuck this job, I'm gonna serve the Lord." That's the spirit the elect is gonna be in, because what? This is not our rest, man. This ain't the kingdom the Most High promised us. This ain't the kingdom where dwell of righteousness. This is what we long to be righteous, man. So no matter what you do on the side, it never amounts to what Yahawashi is going to bring us into, man. And that's what's instilled in the mind of the elect. That this is not it. It gets better after this, man. See? Go ahead.
This is chapter 119, verse 1. That's our sons and wives in the way who walk in the law of Yahawashi. Bless our lady that keep his testimony, that seek him with the whole heart.
And that's what we're doing, man. How do we do that? By doing this work, going to hours of hours, getting out of living sacrifice, walking in the ways of the Most High as best as we can, with all faith in the Lord Yahawashi, knowing and understanding that the only way we're going to get through these times we're coming into is through faith in the Lord Yahawashi. There is no other way for us to overcome the time of trouble without Yahawashi. That's our rock, our defense, our shield, our buckler, our strong tower in these times of calamity that we're coming into. You see? It's all about Yahawashi. He is the one that's going to pour that spirit down into us for us to overcome these times we're entering into. Yahawashi, 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 man. You see? It ain't about what you can do in the flesh. It's about your faith in the name of Yahawashi, man. You see? That's how we're going to be brought into the kingdom of heaven. Hold up. They also do no iniquity. Does that mean they're perfect in the flesh? No. We'll never be perfect in the flesh. We'll be perfect in spirit, though. We'll be perfect in our faith in Yahawashi. We can never be perfect in the flesh. This is why Yahawashi has to come and fulfill what? The prophecy of bringing the elect into the second covenant. Then we'll be perfect in the flesh. But until that time, we will never be perfect in the flesh. This is why what? No man is justified in the sight of the Most High by way of the law. We are justified by what? By faith in Yahawashi. The just shall live by faith. We walk by faith and not by sight. It is impossible. Without faith, it is impossible to please the Most High. Because he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Hebrews 11 and 6. Man. It's all about faith. Faith is what's going to usher in the kingdom of heaven.
Faith without works is dead. You got to do the work too.
Just in your faith, you're going to do the works. Faith is an action. It's something you do.
Because you got a lot of people. I was just talking to one yesterday. You got Christians. They talk about their faith, right? One of my friends from the world, he had a shirt that said faith. I had something about faith. Now it made me think that he has faith, but faith without works is dead. And really, he don't have faith.
You really ain't have no faith because you believe in Jesus Christ. You got to believe, like Yahawashi said, if you believe, you got to believe it for me as the scripture have said. That means you have to believe everything the Most High spoke. You have to believe the will of the Most High. You have to believe that the Most High is a chosen people. That the Hebrew Israelites are the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Americans. That's all the faith. That the Most High is going to put the heathen nations under the Israelites' feet in the kingdom of heaven. That the Israelites are going to reign supreme above all nations. Ain't going to be no equality in the kingdom of heaven. That's all a part of the faith, man. You see, you have to believe that Esau is, the so-called white man is Esau, and that after 1,000 years of hardcore bondage in the kingdom of heaven, the so-called white race, the Edomites, are going to be eradicated from the earth. That's faith. That the Most High is going to destroy America. If you don't believe in that, you don't have no faith, man.
And if you believe in all that and you don't do the work, you still don't have faith.
Still ain't got faith. So the question is, do you believe? If you ain't preaching, did not the Apostle Paul say, I believe, so I have spoken? If you believe,
in you to bring it out. But we understand that we do this on YouTube, the platforms are giving us on the highways and hedges. Going on. That has commanded us to keep that precept diligently. For granted. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. That's what we're hoping for, you know. I'm not ashamed, you know, keeping the ways of Yahawashi when that thing is destruction of it, man. Because they are going to have an embarrassing death, man. All right.
This is 2nd Esdras 7 in verse 8. And one only path between them both. The entrance thereof is narrow and is set on a dangerous place to fall, like as if there was fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. And one only path between them both.
one only path between them both. Like Yahawashi said, what, man? He that trying to come up some other way is a thief and a robber. You're not going to ease your way into the kingdom. It's not going to be a smooth transition. It's going to be a lot of turbulence on the ride, man. A lot of trials, a lot of tribulations. You see, a lot of speed bumps and roadblocks. You see, all that's going to be a part of it. That's the only way we can go.
And before the promises come, the suffering has to come. Patience.
Get your shit up.
These things are so
And that's what we have. In Yahawashi, we have peace because what? Whatever you going through, man, whatever the fuck it is, be up, man. Yahawashi will change this. Yahawashi coming to save us. And that's what when you be like low in the spirit, like man, Yahawashi coming to save us. Like, yeah, he coming to get us, man. I'm saying he recharge you, man. It get hard sometimes, but hey, we know this. We had that hope in Yahawashi. He coming to change this shit, man. Hey, like you say, put your money into a bag full of holes. Hey, we ain't gonna be like this for long. Yahawashi coming to change.
Sisters that cannot hold water.
You got your one to give you there. Ain't gonna be like this forever, man. Yahawashi coming to change it, man. So forth and so on. You see? Hey, what it said, church.
Hey, the thing we got to remember too is when we suffer, we're supposed to rejoice in that. You know, we got to remind yourself to rejoice when you're suffering. Thank you the same sufferings that Yahawashi had to suffer through. You know? We got to always remind ourselves, rejoice, man. You got to do that.
Oh, because what? You partaking in Yahawashi something. This is a blessing, man. And then Yahawashi something like, man, fuck, man. God damn.
Yeah, because the heathen, they have no comfort. They're just going to suffer and not know why. They just keep catching hell. Pretty soon they lose their mind. But we have that stability.
He doesn't know that we're not suffering. Guess what? Then we are bastards.
Not sons. Because the thing is, Yahawashi chief son. Yahawashi got beat down, man. The brother Kyle just read it earlier. So if we proclaim to be Yahawashi's brothers, we're supposed to be around for Yahawashi. We're supposed to be his friends, as he said unto us. Guess what? If Yahawashi got it out the mud, guess what we got to do? We got to get it out the mud right along with them, man. You see, we ain't going to be like these niggas in the world, man. You got a rapper who can bust his ass so like, that roll all the damn raps and got all these fucking different flows and put all these thousands of hard hours of writing rhymes and doing all this shit. You got these niggas that's around them ain't wrote one rap in their life. And they think they supposed to get some with him. No, nah, we got to put in, ain't no amount of work is Yahawashi, but we have to put in some type of work, man. You see? Yup. Before, yup. You see? You don't catch hell. You gonna catch hell. You shall get a slow kicking ass sometimes. And sometimes it'd be like, yo, shit going slow and that shit good. Out of nowhere. I'm saying out of nowhere. Backhand. You see? You shall have true. We're gonna have true flesh in this world, man. We're gonna catch hell. It's hard sometimes, man. Because we man in the flesh. This flesh is what makes it bigger than what it really is, man. But we have to overcome that. We can't stop pushing. Sometimes you have your days where you don't want to do nothing because you're going through so much hell. But you have to wait. Muster up that spirit, call upon the Lord. You see, give me the strength to continue to fight and push. And guess what? I get back in the spirit doing videos. Back in the spirit reading.
When you push through like that, you always end up feeling better. That spirit gets elevated.
Guess what? It makes you strong. Just like when you lift weights. The first 10 to 12 reps you do. Say if you're doing 15 reps, the first 10 reps are easy. You can knock them out of the way. You really catch the hell on the last 5 reps. Now. Those are the reps that really count. And that's the tribulation we go through. You see, it's easy then it started to get, boom, catch that hell, flat tight, unexpected bill, this and that. But when you push through it, you come on the other side, you're stronger because you got that spiritual workout, because you plead unto the Lord through all of that, and you became stronger because of it, man. And those experiences that we have doing these things, we're gonna take that into the time of Jacob's trouble, and we're not gonna be as phased as somebody who hasn't gone through any troubles, man, who just been living it up on this side. So when they lose everything, they're like, what the fuck is going on? When we lose everything, we ain't got nothing anyway. We ready to get, our stuff is where Yahawashi is, man. You see? Whatever. So what he's telling us, he said he's telling us to be of good cheer because he overcame the world, and through our faith in him, we're gonna overcome the world. You just read it, 12 and 10, 11. You just read it. They overcame through their what? Their faith in the blood of Yahawashi. He overcame the world. We're gonna overcome the world, man. Not because we're so great, it's because of the faith that we've been blessed with. The Most High blessed us with faith in Yahawashi to be saved and overcome this world. We're greater than this world, man. You see? But, now he's standing behind us, and they'll go over there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm saying, don't do that. It's gonna be a roadblock over here, but don't worry. You're gonna have to do this, to get over it, but you're gonna be able to get over it. Just have faith, and that's what's happening. He's coaching us through the game, man. You see? Man, that's so temptation, man. Sometimes it sucks. It sucks, like, bro, because like I said, we in the flesh, man. This flesh is a little bitch. And sometimes you get like, damn, what I got to do? Like Tyrese, you know what I'm saying? And it feel like that sometimes. It's like, man, let me stop being a little hole. Let me knock out let me get my reading in. Let me go keep it with the brothers, man. Let me go talk to a brother or something, you know what I'm saying? And then, let me go look in the sky. You know, let me look up. Let me see if I see some chariots or not. You know what I'm saying? Chariots come by. Chariots come by. The water, Yahawashi. I needed that. The water, bro. You get back. You get back in the fight. You soldier the fuck up. You keep pushing, man.
Brothers might be making a video or something in your life that you need to hear.
You know why? Because Yahawashi know we down here catching hell, man. The angels are here with us right now. You see the angels, they read that, but they know we griping and complaining, all this shit, all the hell we catch. They know Yahawashi taking it all back. He knows that. He know we tired of this shit. He know we're ready for this place to be destroyed, man. He know we want to stop.
He's the one who wrote it down. He said it's not our rest. You know? Of course, you know,
understanding, knowing that Jacob's still missing. We know it's hell. We know it's evil. We know it's not just raining along, you know, this and that. We
trust you. You understand when you chanting the Lord's Prayer. That's a curse. The Lord's Prayer is a curse for everybody outside of the ring.
Thy will be done. What's his will?
What's the will of the Most High? You read it, 2 Ezra 15. That's the will of the Most High. 16. Jacob's trouble. That's all the will. You putting up every time you say the Lord's Prayer, you putting up curses on this place. Because for what? The kingdom of heaven, because it has to happen to America. It has to go down. You see? That saying the Lord's Prayer put you in the right mind state, man. You got dudes out here talking about the Lord's Prayer, don't even know what it means, man.
You know, people, read scripture.
And y'all, all these Israelites talking about the kingdom of heaven, but don't understand, know that we about to catch complete hell in this kingdom, man.
They don't even understand what being saved is. They tell you, the Christians will tell you they were saved in 2015.
These stores are their shelves are empty. Gas prices are going up. Diesel prices are going up.
Yeah.
What are you saved from?
That's why we're going to laugh at your calamity.
Motherfucker, this is the beginning of sorrows. This is the beginning of sorrows. God. That's what I'm saying. They lose their mind now.
Our church get closed down.
Yeah, now we was out there. We ain't have no fucking virtual church. Yeah, that was it.
Let me get verse 2. Back in Sirach 2 and 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make no haste in time of trouble.
You have to constantly endure, man. You know what? No matter what you're going through, yes, sometimes you don't feel like doing it. You got it. And that's what consistency is, man. Doing something when you don't even feel like doing it. The Lord knows we don't get in the spirit to do this all the time, man. But He gives us that spirit to overcome those plateaus and keep pushing. You see, that's something that every man in this truth, even the Apostle Hardy said, sometimes he don't have the spirit on him. And he just typing the word, spirit to come.
And then what else does he say? Under Apostle Hart, he always says, hey man, even if I do a video, if I do something for the truth, he says, I still don't feel like I'm doing enough. You know? That's the spirit we should be in. We should always feel like we're not doing enough because, hey, that'll keep you grounded.
Spirit of understanding we're not doing enough, keep us pushing to doing more.
I got to do a video. Don't say I got to do a video today. I got to read it. I got to do something for the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's great.
Verse 3, cleave unto it is part of God the way that thou mayest increase that thy last end.
And that is what? Enduring until the end to be saved, man. That's the increase that we're hoping to be going into. You know?
Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take it cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in fire, and an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity.
That was it.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to be doing, man. Understanding that we're being tried by Yahawashi, taking all those impurities out of us, man. Because this whole entire system has filled up in impurities within us, and Yahawashi is changing us, taking all that imperfection away from us through the power of Yahawashi, man. It all starts with Yahawashi, and that's what we're leading up to. Yahawashi. Without Yahawashi, we are nothing.
You better not say it.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 7 and verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
How can we receive this? If we don't go through the time of Jacob's trouble, we just suspended the process. You see, stuck in Babylon the Great, because you got niggas like talking about 10, 15 years from now, they don't want to go through Jacob's trouble. Guess what? We got to move forward to get to the kingdom, man. You see, it's a steady march forward to the promised land once again. You see? Was it on now? What is that? You
Uh,
gotta read the next one.
Verse 10. And I said it, and I said, it is so, Yahweh. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
So even so also is the portion. So yes, the Father's faith. But we must go through these perilous times to receive it. And then what should come for you though? Knowing and understanding that it's the Most High's pleasure to give us the kingdom. So that can give you the strength to get through the time of Jacob. I just got to get through this. Yahawashi, I give you the strength to get through this. Because after this is the kingdom of heaven. It's everlasting life after this. You see? See, that's the type of hope we have in us. That's something the world doesn't have, man. That's something a lot of you see Israelites and these other groups don't have. We are a different breed of Hebrew Israelites, man. We are the first group. You see? Those of a higher class, higher rank of the same class, man. You see? Of people. Yup. The only ones
The only ones that are going to make it through it are the elect. So we're going to have an embarrassing time.
that one. What?
And exhorting them to continue faith. And that we must enter the kingdom of the Most High.
No.
Right? So, the Lord is confirming us there by proving us. And let us know that God is the kingdom of heaven. All right? And the scripture, man, they exhort us to continue on. So if you ain't got the faith, man, you ain't gonna give up, you're gonna fall out.
That fire. That gold, with that gold being tried in the fire.
Yeah. Rest, you know what I'm saying? That eternal rest. Well, it's there, we catch it now, man. This is only temporary.
So we'll grab a few more, then we're gonna wrap it up, man. So I'm gonna grab the second Esdras 8. And I start at 50. It says what? But many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. Yeah, no? Just get that. It says what? Because they have walked in great pride, and that's what's about to happen to 2/3 of our people. They walked in great pride against the Most High, and great miseries is going to be done unto them. See, we see it's a difference between Jacob's trouble for the elect of Israel and Jacob's trouble for the 2/3. Jacob's trouble for the elect is for what? For us to be purged and made better in faith. Because through this whole time of Jacob's trouble, what are we going to be doing? Calling upon Yahawashi. Save us, Lord. Yahawashi, save me. Help me. Deliver me from my enemy. That's what y'all whole time doing to the time of Jacob's trouble. 2/3, Jesus Christ. Where Sheba at? Where Sheba at? So second Esdras 8:51 says what? Well, understand thou for thyself and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. So that's all we worried about, man. All we worried about is the elect of Israel who's going to understand and cleave unto this word just like we're doing through the Holy Spirit of Yahawashi. If you're not moving in that spirit, get the fuck away from us, man. You see? So
no man take that crown.
this is second Esdras 8:52 says, it says what? For unto you is paradise open, and the tree of life is planted. The time is come to prepare. It's like the time to come is prepared. It's already prepared, man. The time to come, the kingdom of heaven is already prepared. It's just waiting for us to look, man. When you understand what's already prepared from the beginning, declaring the end from the beginning, and things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. It's already done, man. We're just watching the movie play out. It's over already. He's like to just throw a monkey wrench to the Most High's planet, alter the timeline of prophecy. Man, no, the Most High already determined what was going to be done before everything was created. the beginning, man. You see? But it was going to be all in the end, it was already declared for and watch it play out. Second Ezra 8:52 says, look, for unto you is paradise open. The tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared. Plenteous is made ready. A city is builded, and a rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom is already prepared for us. 53 says what? The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the mouth is hid from you. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrows are past, and in the end it showed the treasure of immortality. This is what we're coming into. The Most High, and this is the Most High's good pleasure to give us this, man. You see? It is the Most High's pleasure to give us this. This is what he wants to do, and this is what he's going to do. And all the history, you see? All the history proves that, man. When you go into the end of the book of Joshua, it says what? And the Most High fulfilled all the things that he promised to the fathers of Israel by giving us the land. The Most High kept his promise then. He's definitely going to keep it now. Why? Because it's impossible for the Most High to lie. And so much that when he can swear by none greater, he swear upon himself, man. So that should be, hey, well, the Most High swore on himself, he's going to do this, man. So let me ride this thing up to the end, Lord willing. You see? Come on, man. And one more, real quick. It says, man. It's Second Ezra chapter 2. Matter of fact, we're going to start at 10. Second Ezra 2:10. Thus saith the Lord unto Ezra, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. This is a vision. This is something the Most High is telling Ezra through the angel Uriel, man. The Most High said this, that he's going to give us the kingdom of Jerusalem, which he would have given unto Israel. He's going to give it to us. He's going to give it to us, man. Verse, exactly. Verse 11 says, look, their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles, which is what? The new bodies, man. Being changed in a twinkle of an eye. Becoming completely righteous, which opens us up to what? Pleasures evermore. That's what opens us up to pleasures evermore, being completely righteous, being brought up under that same covenant, man. So it's in our real bodies. Yep. It's in our real bodies. Second Ezra 2:11. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles, which I have prepared for them. Verse 12, they shall have the tree of life for an ointment of sweet savor. They shall neither labor nor be weary. So all the hell we catching on these jobs, and brothers doing all these crazy ass jobs, man, weary do labor anymore in the kingdom of heaven. That's because the Most High is going to give us a true rest. As it tells you in Romans 9, that what? There's still remaining for rest until the people of the Lord, man. As the Most High has promised to our fathers. You see? Verse 13 says what? Go, and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you. What you think you're doing with the Lord's Prayer? You're praying for a few days unto you. When you put up curses on this place, you praying for a few days. You praying for the Most High to take this place down. You praying for the food shortages to happen. You praying for gas to skyrocket, hyperinflation, for the dollar to collapse. You praying for the MOTD to be put into place so the rest of the prophecies can be fulfilled. That's what you're doing when you stand in the Lord's Prayer. You praying for the missiles to rain down upon this place. But what you think praying for a few days is? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Bro, the Most High is with us to fuck America up and to bring us into the kingdom. You see? It goes on the same 2:13. Go and ye shall receive. pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. Why? Why they gonna be shortened?
Relaxing.
All right. Come on, man. Come on, man.
They are short, man.
Even the heathen see it, bro, that these things are
Always ass. I go to work I get to work at like 8:30. By the time I look up, it's time to go home. It's 4 o'clock already.
Back then, we were kids, we were in school, we were dealing with that fucking shit take forever.
Took forever. That's fucking day. I'm gonna pay all my money.
there's even a meme out there that says a weekend feel like a 30-minute lunch break.
Yeah, that's
You know what? And it's for us, little women be a part of their number. I have a problem with it. Because every day is a day closer to the kingdom. Every day is a day closer to the Most High's will, and us coming into our inheritance, man. Being taken from the fucking bottom to be put on top where the sons of the Most High is supposed to be. According to the will of Yahawaah, man. We're not hoping because everything that we love to do on this side, we're gonna have it on in even greater abundance in the kingdom. We're gonna have the fullness of it, man. Shit.
our brothers get new jobs and stuff, but yeah, it's good that we have a ability to do what we gotta do right now, but that ain't, we're not like, oh my God, this is what it is right here.
I just got this job,
I'm living the life now.
Part of the curse is what? Being subject of the pains. The Most High just told us we ain't gonna labor and be weary. He gonna take us from all this shit. Everything that we suffer here is fucking punishment, man. Everything, every aspect of our life is a punishment, except for this truth. It says what? 2 Ezra 2:13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. The kingdom is already prepared for you. It's just waiting for us to come. And how do we get there? Time of tribulation. This is a fucking must, man. This is a must. It says what? The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. Watch. Watch what the Lord does, man. He's going to be faithful as he's always been. We just have to hold up our end of the bucket. When it came to the Most High keeping his promises, he never had a problem with it. It was always us that was fucking it up. You see? We the one for the land of milk and honey. I was in the spot doing the Trump touch and I'm saying, we fucked it up. God damn, doing that work and shit. You know what I'm saying? We fucked it up. The Most High. He always up in his end of the bargain, man. It was us that fucked it up. What's up?
I haven't run this down in a long time. The Most High power is not mean and greedy, but right and peace and joy in the Holy Spirit. For he that in these things, Mashiach is acceptable to the Most High power and approved of that. That's what we're hoping for, right? Rule upon the spirit once again, man. And full endurance, man, on these miserable lives we're living for the kingdom of heaven to be ushered in, man. These bodies right now, forget them, man. Forget it. They ain't nothing.
So I'm gonna fast forward to the end of the vision, man. Now we can close out on this, guys. So then we'll wrap it up on this right here. This is the fast forward to the end of the book, to the end of the vision. You see, and we only have access to this through our Lord Yahawashi Mashiach, man. Revelation 21:1. It gives us the end of the story. This is the end of the story right here. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. What is that? A change of regimes, man. A change of rulership, a new heaven and a new earth. It's us coming into power. It says what? For the first heaven and the first earth, Esau conquests, and the rest of his heathen passed away. And there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power. Why? Because at that point, we're going to be up under that same covenant. You see? A nation of priests unto the Most High God, Yahweh. Through our Lord Yahawashi Mashiach, Melchizedek, the high priest in the heavens, man. You see? Verse 4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying. Neither shall there be any more pain. For the former things, all this shit here, are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new, refreshed. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. Verse 6 says what? And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is the thirst of the fountain of water of life freely, which is our Lord Yahawashi speaking. 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Do you understand what all things mean? If it exists, you're going to own it, man. Everything is in existence is going to be brought in, given into our hands, man. And we're going to be creating new things in the kingdom of heaven. You see? So this is what's coming, man. This is something to fight for. We just got to stay strong and just trust in the Lord Yahawashi, and that He will lead us in the right way. He is the shepherd for a reason. He's here to lead the sheep. You see? Through these obstacles and these trials and courses, man. So hey, man, let's keep fighting, keep pushing. Don't give up. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, man, we got everything coming to us, man, and this is what keeps us. This is something that keeps us pushing. We have a goal to fight for it, man. So with that, man, matter of fact, you brother say anything over there?
Go ahead, brother.
Hey, so with that, man, we want to give all praise, but Lord, wasn't it was edifying and uplifting and exhorting unto the true believers, man, because we about to come into a glory that can't even be comprehended, man. Isaiah 64:4. I have not seen, I have not heard what the Most High prepared for them that wait for them. You see, and it also tells you that in Corinthians as well. You see, so hey, let's keep fighting, let's keep pushing. It's gonna get a little bit harder, but the Lord Yahawashi got our back, man, as it is written. With that, we want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, qadash. And double honors to the apostles and elders and great millstones who teach this truth according to the Bible, through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, and sincere peace and salutation to all you hopefully let I give out there, pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work is Yahawashi, Yahawashi, spirit just to do. With that, we want to say shalom, shalom, the ball.
About the ball.